Matt Christine here from Sight of Sound magazine for a very special interview with David Cook.
Hello.
So we are here in the fine city of Bethlehem. Mm-hmm. Almost a hometown show for me. I live a few towns over, but it's all the same. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having us.
Have you gone out and about and seen anything?
We've been to the hotel and here so
Okay.
far, so nothing yet. But I know we go on. I don't think we go on until later tonight, so I might try to sneak out.
Yeah, we got the beautiful steel stacks behind
yeah.
us. You know, a lot of heritage here.
Yeah.
But David Cook is currently on tour.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be touring until November 23rd, I believe.
Yeah. We're out right now, kind of between records, for two reasons. One, my fans have been very, very patient and also very loyal the last few years. I know between the first and the second record, it took us like 3 years, I think, to get it all figured out. So with this one, I just didn't want to wait as long, and so this is kind of a, to some extent, every tour is for the fans, but this one especially. And then also, we are writing for another record and have this kind of massive new material that I really wanted to get out and play for people. It was something that I wasn't really able to do with the last two records. So with this, we're just we've got like a handful of new songs that we're just kind of litmus testing.
So the new record, is it going to be a full-length album, EP, kind of in between the two?
Right now we have enough for an EP. I'm going to keep writing with the intention of making a full record. I love full records, but then we're also talking to labels, and as that gets sorted out, it'll be kind of up to them to see how we package everything.
It's good that you bring up that you like full records. That's something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
It's not a dying art, but it's something that needs to come back, because the ability to put on an album, listen to it from track 1, track 2 in order all the way through, and take something away. I feel like we're losing that a little bit, and it's a shame because
I think it's certainly becoming a single-driven market again.
Yeah.
But I remember growing up and hearing or finding records and just listening to them from, like you said, from start to finish, and really finding a deeper appreciation not only for that record but for that artist. And I think as that starts to go away, music becomes a little bit more it becomes more of a throwaway art. I think that's seen now in the sense, like, you have so many great singles that come out, and then you don't hear from that artist again, and it's unfortunate because those artists, they get this commercial success, and that's not the only thing that they do. Like Gautier's record is incredible, and then you hear the one single, and it's such a shame, and I think the listener really misses out on a lot of great music that way.
It's almost a transition to a one-hit wonder kind of thing, but not necessarily, because a lot of the artists that have this single have a lot of great songs.
Sure.
But they only get that spotlight for the one, and it's painful in a way, especially for listeners.
It really is, and
the same track 40 times.
Yeah, and I think that's why I put such an impetus on full records, and why, as long as I've got the facilities to do so, I plan on doing it. Yeah. I think it's just call it pissing in the wind or whatever you want to do, but to me it just seems imperative that if I'm going to put forth the effort to write a song, and try to put it out, I want to give people as much bang for their buck as possible, and on top of that, just to have a more complete idea. I think one song, it's like the chapter of a book. Well, you wouldn't sell a book chapter by chapter, you'd sell the whole book, and so I'm not interested in just writing chapters. I like writing books.
Speaking of writing, I know
I'm just segueing into every question.
I know you're really good. I'm prepared for this one. You put out a new single a little while ago. Is that single going to be on the album, or will that be a standalone kind of like single prior?
Laying Me Low we put out end of April, and the intention now is to put it on the record.
So that would be part of the story?
Yeah. Cool. And I think anybody that comes to see these live shows and gets to hear these new songs in a live element will understand that I think they're all very different. I think with the two RCA records, there seemed to be such an emphasis put on creating an identity that a lot of the times the music, and, by my own fault, kind of fell within certain parameters, and then really with this new stuff, I've tried to not write within parameters, and just write stuff that I like and think is cool, and that could be a completely like synthed out song or an acoustic track, and so I really see this record shaping up as being very eclectic, but I think all the songs, there's not shock value. I don't think somebody's going to listen to it and be like, God, who is that? You know what I mean? And
you can still tell that it's you.
Yeah, and that's kind of the line I'm trying to toe. And so, again, I think anybody that comes to our shows, on this run, should probably be able to pick up on that.
There's a plug to go buy a ticket if you haven't.
That's right. See
that's what that was right there. It was subtle, but it was there. So I know when you're writing, you write the music first,
yes,
and then you go back and do the lyrics. Mm-hmm. Do you think you're going to have any songs that come post this tour now that you've exposed the music to the fans? Are you going to tweak them before they become studio versions? Or?
Oh yeah, invariably. Yeah. These songs, they're all very fluid, and I'm a perfectionist anyway.
Yeah.
And so even after we put these songs out in record format, they're going to change and evolve.
Live,
yeah. Point in case, the first RCA record we put out in 2008. Where those songs set sonically at the end of that tour, than where they were out on the record, a lot of them were just completely left and right, and I don't see that changing with this stuff. These songs evolve all the time, and it could be something as really obvious as like a lyric changing, or it could just be how we break down the bridge, but little moments. I think these songs are all still growing in their own right.
Is it harder to play the songs to the fans knowing that you might not get that crowd response from them with the new stuff, or are you seeing some of them knowing the stuff thanks to YouTube and stuff?
It's a gamble. I think I always kind of joke around that one of these days we're going to play a song and we're going to finish and the crowd's just going to not make any noise. They're just going to look at us like, what the hell did we just see?
That could be interesting. That's not a bad thing.
I hope it doesn't happen, but because obviously I want them to enjoy it. These songs are they're songs I feel really strongly about, and I think just kind of reinvesting in a creative process and really experimenting with this stuff. Oddly enough, though, I just have more confidence. In these songs than I think I ever have with any of the songs I've written, and I don't know if that comes with age or if that comes with just having my feet under me or whatever. But I definitely feel that these songs deserve to be heard. So
you've been doing this now, touring practically since American Idol, essentially, right?
Even before,
before,
sure,
more extensive.
Of
now.
Course,
Is that tough? I know you enjoy touring. I imagine you enjoy touring.
Sure, yeah.
But
picked a hell of a gig if I don't.
Yeah. Is that difficult at times? Do you miss the stability of being at home, or would you not trade this for?
I don't know if this is always going to be in the cards for me. I certainly enjoy it, and as long as I enjoy it, I see no reason to stop doing it.
That's pretty solid advice to anybody out there, too.
As long as the venues will keep booking me and people keep showing up, but I think it's a different lifestyle for sure, and I think touring the way I did before Idol and touring the way I did after, that's an exercise in polar opposites to say the very least. But I really do enjoy it. I enjoy the travel.
You get to see a lot of stuff.
And I really just I enjoy the people. Yeah. It's I enjoy being home. Don't get me wrong, but then I get stir crazy after a while. I love different stimuli, and
I would imagine that this tour in particular, it's a very intimate tour. It's for the fans, more so than usual.
Sure.
It's I don't know if you've been out to this out and looked at it out there tonight, but it's really interesting seeing how it's set up out there. It's going to be a real special night for you as a performer and the fans.
I hope so, and that's really that's the goal that we're trying to reach with these shows. Is I owe a lot to these fans. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of job I would have, or if I'd have a job if it weren't for these guys. So any chance I can get to come out and say thanks and our way is something I'm always willing to do.
Do you have any songs that are particularly for them now? I'm anxious to hear this new material tonight. Is there like a thank you song?
There's no like particular thank you song, but I think I've gotten a lot of comments from fans, on these shows that they love seeing me happier and more comfortable, and
heard that as well from some.
Yeah, and I think in that regard, it just comes from like we said before, I think just having my feet under me a little bit.
Yeah.
And feeling like, I can entertain, these people, and I can give them what they came for, and then some, and so, I think every song in that regard is kind of a thank you, because they've given me this opportunity, and I'm enjoying it. So,
are there songs that are on a very personal level to the degree that Promise was, or did you keep it a little bit more open for interpretation?
There's there's a couple songs that I think touch on specific personal things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, honestly, one of the things I tried to do with this stuff was not write from necessarily a personal standpoint, and pull inspiration from, things I've seen or things I've read. I know that sounds super vague, but like...
No, I understand.
Yeah, but we have like...
You're influenced by everything you...
Like we have a song that... I got inspired from reading a newspaper article about the U.S. drone program, and kind of built this story around the idea of like a guy, running a drone to spy on his ex-girlfriend or whatever, and just stuff like that I don't know that I had the confidence to attack maybe 2 years ago.
Sounds like a really interesting song.
It might be just super obtuse and nobody can connect to it.
I don't know. I can't say I've heard of anything like that before, so
there's always room for one, maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That's awesome. So you have quite a lot of stories from the road, for sure.
Too, yeah.
You've been across the entire world, essentially, with Idol, with this tour, with tours before. Is there any particular show... Other than, I know you played to a big crowd in Singapore.
And Manila. Yeah.
Are there any shows that just ring out as something that was on a different level? Both for you and maybe even the audience, too.
I remember I got invited to perform acoustic. And it was just one song. But I got invited to perform at the Vanity Women of the Year Awards, I think in 2008 or 2009. And... It was strange. I got there without really knowing what I was doing exactly, and then Mary Steenburgen, she played the mom on Step Brothers.
Okay.
She comes up to me and she's like, "I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for coming." And she kind of explained to me what I was doing. I was performing for Hillary Clinton. I was a surprise guest for Hillary Clinton. And it was, for some reason that just struck fear in me, because it was all of a sudden it was like, oh
pressure's
God,
on.
Like she just finished running for the Democratic ticket, I think in 2008, and I was just like, what the hell am I doing here? You know what I mean? But it was so much fun, but really, like, looking back on it, just the most ridiculous moment to sit there on stage. It was at Carnegie Hall, no less. Carnegie Hall, and you look around and there's Fergie and Mary Steenburgen and Hillary Clinton, and it's just like,
oh man,
what the hell am I doing here? But it was fun.
Awesome. Well, we just got the signal that we have to wrap this up, unfortunately. But it has been great. Thank you so much for sitting down.
Thank you, man.
Guys, David Cook. Look for the new album sometime soon.
Sometime soon.
Soon.
Fans love the word
we'll
soon.
leave it with that. Sometime soon. Pick up the new single if you can't wait. Buy the old albums. Come to a show.
All those things.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks, brother.
Cool. Thanks so much. Oh.